If we just move our arms just kind of up in the air, just where you are right now, up and to the side, we might not feel anything, or the person next to us we might grab inadvertently. But if you just stop for a moment and suspend the arms, and then everything you're doing gesturally, particularly the gentleman doing this IBM key punching, which is so retro that I just saw, and just slowly do everything you just did, but almost retracing your steps as if you're underwater. And what you're going to do is you're going to feel resistance, you're going to feel articulation, you're going to feel suspension, and you're also going to feel something else that's really important to any dancer, which is oppositional stretch, which is a sense of grounding in the body and taking root through the floor as you further increase your rise, your lift, your suspension, so that movement not only is just in the body, which is finite, but continues way beyond the gesture, way beyond your fingertips, way beyond the roof of this place, and beyond the sky and above. And that's what you envelop, that's what you encompass. And that's, as dancers, this is how we work with volume of space. And with an element specifically defined as, instead of being air, I like to think that there is a spatial volume around the body. And with that, I will use elements of water to describe that for the dancer. And another book that I pull from, because I'm a great believer in alluding to literary references that are about everything that it doesn't necessarily ascribe to dance, but you can really draw connections to it in terms of the immediacy of feeling it. Wherever there is water, life can become active in the material world. Where there is no water, this possibility ceases. Water is essentially the element of life. Wherever possible, it wrests life from death. It is the great healer of all that is sick and has lost its living poise. For water forever strives after balance, a living balance, never a static one that would extinguish life. It is everywhere, a mediator between contrasts, which grows sharper where it is absent. Thus it brings together elements hostile to one another, instead constantly creating something new out of it. Water dissolves what is solid, rendering it back to life. So elements of nature foster elements of healing properties which actually work as a transformative agent to take what is the solid finite body of, whether we say, oh, I have 2 left feet, or I don't have any coordination or no moment. You just stop and think of what the essence of flow of life is. You transform into that, how that kind of sensation both intellectually and physically affects you, and that's what moves you to move. And with that, I'm going to introduce our dancers this summer. And I also want to introduce my wonderful accompanist and partner in crime, Brad Dutz from Los Angeles. Imagistically, I don't necessarily start the day reading this material to the dancers by any means, starting any day with a book when you're in a studio where all you want to do is open up is the last thing. But I attribute a lot of that literature to really localize my thinking and my teaching in a way that's very specific, that is specifically defined, but also has universal properties, because it's those things of specificity and universality of ideas that really provide concrete guidance for the young dancer in this instance.